In this video, we'll be connecting OPC UA server running on tiny footprint like ESP32 to a Node-RED dashboard. Hello everyone, welcome to IoT Frontier. My name is Hariharnath. This video will guide you to get the temperature sensor values from ESP32 and then monitor them on Node-RED dashboard. Don't worry if you don't have the temperature sensor with you. I'll show you how you can simulate those values. Don't miss to watch this video till the end to get the complete tutorial correctly working. Let's get started. First of all, let's try to understand the data flow diagram. So here you can see on the left hand side you can see DHT22 sensor, and next to that you can see the ESP32 board which is running a OPC UA server, and then we have OPC UA client which is Node-RED in this case. On the Node-RED we have a dashboard which will be visualizing the temperature sensor values that are coming from the sensor and which we are receiving from ESP32. In my previous video, I have explained in detail on how to run an OPC UA server on ESP32. In this video, I'll provide you a quick recap, but you can always refer to that video from the top right corner or in the description below. So these are the hardware components needed: ESP32 dev board, micro USB to USB cable, DHT22 sensor. As I mentioned earlier, even if you don't have any temperature sensor, I'll guide you on how to simulate those values at the end of this video. Let's look into the softwares. We need VS Code, ESP IDF extension. If you are new to ESP IDF programming, I strongly suggest you to watch one of my previous video on how to install and get started with ESP IDF using VS Code. Then we also need to install Git desktop, and then we have cloned GitHub repository which contains the code to run OPC UA server on ESP32. At this point, you can also connect DHT22 sensor if you have it. If not, you can simulate the temperature values by slightly modifying the code. Now let's open the ESP IDF Explorer, and then we click on Build Flash and Monitor, so that it will build, flash and monitor the code onto ESP32. Now you can see the flash has been done, and you can even see the monitoring. So the time has been set and the IP address is provided here, and this is the OPC server IP address, and we need to use 4840 as a port. Next thing that we need to do is we need to install Node-RED. So to install Node-RED, you need to follow these commands. So I have already created one video on how to install Node-RED on Windows. So you can watch it on top right corner or in the description below. So if you have already installed it, you can continue. So now let's open Node-RED by opening the command prompt. So in the command prompt, I'll use Node-RED command. So this will start the Node-RED program. You can copy this URL. Now you can see the Node-RED flow has been opened. So after that, you need to work on OPC UA nodes. So that is the reason you need to go to palette to install the modules of OPC UA. So search for OPC UA. So in the top you can see @OPC UA for Node-RED. So you can install this. So it will take a couple of minutes. So it has installed, and we can close this. Once it is installed, you can drag and see the OPC UA section has been created. So now let's create a small flow. So now when you see here, you will see OPC UA here, and so we need to use monitor variable because we have used in the code such that the temperature values of the sensor or the simulated values will keep on updating in a particular interval. So we need to first configure this node. So double click on this, and then you need to create an endpoint. So here you need to enter the endpoint value. So you can go to the VS Code, find the IP address, copy this and go back to the Node-RED and paste it here. And after that you can type the 4840 as a port. So immediately you can click on check connection. So you can see connection to the endpoint has been established. Sometimes you can also see there could be some error. That could be because we are using ESP32, which is a small footprint. It will easily throw out of memory issues, and whenever you are trying to connect multiple clients. For example, if you've seen my previous video where I have connected UA Expert, and now you are trying to connect again a new client in Node-RED, it will not be having enough memory to allocate both clients. So it will throw you out of memory error. So what you can do is, before starting this tutorial, you close all other clients and then you will see this connection established. So now click on add. So we have done with the endpoint. So next thing that we need to do is we need to provide the node ID. So you can use this button to open the address space browser. So it will open the objects. So for the first time, if it is not opening, you can just save it for now and then deploy it once. So once you have deployed it, you can again open it and then now search for it. So you can see every detail will be available because it has to be connected to that endpoint to get these values. So now what I can do is I can simply select this temperature value. So I'll double click on it. So it will be adding ns is equal to 1 and string is equal to temperature. And the sampling interval by default it has taken 1 second. So I'll leave it as it is and click on done. Once this is done, you can also see this output in the debug window. So add that node and then deploy. So immediately you can see the values keep flowing here. So for every second you are seeing a value between 20 to 30 because that is how we have simulated. If you have really used your sensor, then the sensor value will be varying very low. So once this is done, we also can provide a dashboard. For that, you need to install one more extension in the palette. So go to install and search for dashboard. And you will find Node-RED dashboard. So I have already installed it. So that's why you can see here. Otherwise, you can install it like last time. And immediately under this nodes, you can find the dashboard. So in the dashboard, you can choose either gauge, chart. So what we can do is I'll use both. So I'll connect the client monitor values output to the gauge and chart and first configure that. So now here I can leave it as it is, click on done. And then in the chart as well, I can click on done and then deploy it. So after this, you just need to copy the URL and at the end, you need to use UI. So you can see the chart values. So in the gauge, I need to adjust because it is showing 0 to 10, right? So I can go back in the gauge. So I can provide the values like 20 and 30. This way I can save it and done. Now immediately you can see the values keep changing here. Even in the chart, it is showing you 20 to 30 auto adjust. So if you want to change this default name, right? So you can go back, edit this default, and then you can say temperature monitoring and update this. Done. Also in the chart, you will be seeing the same reflected deployed. So immediately you can see temperature monitoring. And that's it. Now you can see the temperature values from sensor connected with ESP32 and reading those values using OPC UA on Node-RED dashboard. I hope this video has been helpful. If yes, please type helpful in the comment section below and smash that like button. I have also made a video on how to send temperature data from ESP32 to AWS IoT Core. You can check that video on the top right corner or in the description below. Your support means a lot to us and helps us keep creating more content like this. So please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another interesting video.